How's it going, guys? Today I'm back out at Walton-On-The-Naze for a little spot of shark's tooth and fossil hunting. Now this one's a little bit different. A few weeks ago I came out without the camera just to do a little bit of shark's teeth hunting on my own. I'm always trying to sort of improve my skill with this sort of thing because I'm still fairly novice when it comes to shark's tooth hunting, and I managed to find the biggest shark's tooth I've ever found. So later in the video I'm going to be talking about that and showing it you. It's a pretty incredible find. So sit back, relax, hopefully we find some shark's teeth. My name's Adam and welcome to Nature's Scope. So the tide is just going out here at Walton. It's quite a windy day. I'm hoping the camera's not picking up too much wind. As you can see around me, there is a bunch of shingle. We've had some really rough weather in Essex the past few days. It's the end of March and, you know, we've had quite a few storms, which is what I've really been waiting for. I've really wanted to come out after a storm and see what I can find. So I'm quite hopeful today. I know I'm not the best at finding shark's teeth, but you never know. I'm first of all going to have a search through some of these corner piles that pile up by the stairs. They're absolutely huge today and there's some huge stones. So I'm hoping we might get lucky and see if any big shark's teeth have washed up inside them. After a few seconds of searching the gravel patch, we've got shark's tooth number 1. I think it's slightly broken. The cartilage you can see at the top right there should be sort of more to the left as well. So I think it isn't fully intact, but it would have been quite a big one. I've managed to find an absolutely huge pile of the fossilised wood that you find all along Walton Beach. Now if you've never watched one of these videos before, this is a piece of fossilised wood, and if you look closely you can see the sort of grains of the wood like a twig that have been crushed over millions and millions of years in the cliffs. So effectively what happens is the wood gets crushed and it becomes this, and there's plenty of pieces here, absolutely loads. If you look really closely you can tell that the sort of wood effect is still there. It's really interesting, and there's pieces scattered all over Walton Beach, but I've never found a pile sort of this big before. I've now moved on from the gravel patch, and can you spot it? Just there, a really nice one, really well intact as well. I really love finding shark's teeth, it's awesome. As you would have heard at the start of the video, a few months ago I came out shark's teeth hunting on my own, and of course it would be just my luck to find the biggest shark's tooth I've ever found. And this is it. This tooth is absolutely massive, and it belongs to a now extinct species of shark called Atodus obliquus. I might have got that completely wrong. I'll leave it on screen now, but the cue is really throwing me off. It's Atodus obliquus, Atodus obliquus, I'm not sure. Please let me know in the comments how exactly I should say it. So people call the shark that had this tooth in its mouth the grandfather of the Meg. The megalodon evolved from Atodus obliquus. Scientists think that Atodus obliquus went extinct around 3.5 million years ago. So at very earliest, this shark is 3.5 million years old, or the shark that had this tooth in its mouth. If you lived 500,000 lifetimes to 80 years old, that would just about get you to how old this shark's tooth could possibly be, and that's pretty crazy to think about. Because these sharks went extinct long before humans were around, we don't know too much about them. All the information we have is from old bones and mainly the teeth that people find scattered along the beach. When this shark swam in the sea, it would have been up to 12 meters long. I'll throw a photo on screen now that shows that comparison next to a human. This shark would have been absolutely huge. And we know from fossil records around the world that this shark was found globally. They found Atodus obliquus teeth, still can't get the name right, in places like South America, here of course in Europe, Australia, and just all around the world. This is one of the teeth I've found today already, next to the Atodus tooth I found a few months ago. And just look at the size difference. It's insane to think that there's something out there that's swimming around with the tooth on the right in its mouth, let alone the tooth on the left. You can only imagine how big this thing would have been. The tooth is absolutely massive. It fills a huge portion of the palm of my hand. Scientists actually think that the Atodus genus, which is the sort of whole of those species of sharks, it also contains the famous megalodon, evolved into what is now modern day great white sharks. So that tooth I found was pretty cool and has a lot of history, as I'm sure all of the teeth I find here, but when you find an extra big one, it's always quite special. I'm now on the main fossil hunting beach here at Walton. As you can probably tell by my coat, I'm getting absolutely soaked, so I'm going to give it probably another half an hour to an hour, see what else I can find. I want more shark's teeth. So I actually found the shark's tooth just under that step there, and it was really low tide, but basically people were coming down the stairs walking straight over it, and it was just lodged underneath the step. And I only spotted it because I happened to look down as I was leaving the beach, so it was a really lucky find. I'm glad nobody else saw it. So I'm hoping now we can get some of the same look. I'm going to search through these gravel spots. It's one of my favourite places to search through here at Walton, so hopefully we can find something just as impressive again, but I think it's very unlikely. I think I was very lucky. These are the two that I just found in that time lapse there. The one on the right is quite stained, so I think that's been under the red crag, which is a sort of red clay on the cliffs for quite some time, which is giving it that sort of reddish tint to it. And this one here is in really good shape. It's incredibly sharp. So there were two really good ones to find. Usually I find quite a few small ones in that little gravel patch, but today, yeah, it was only these two big ones. I always love it too when you find one that's slightly different. This one that's stained, you know, sort of orangey, is going to stand out in the collection as opposed to this one, which, you know, is still really cool to find, but it looks quite similar to the other ones I have. So this is what releases all those shark's teeth. The cliffs erode. This is all clay. It's not hard at all. You could go up with your hand and squish quite a bit of it. And inside there, there'll be all these shark's teeth. The sea will wash the clay away, keep the shark's teeth there. They'll eventually wash up on the beach. And that's sort of how we managed to find all these really cool shark's teeth. This is the power of the erosion on the cliffs here. That tree would have been sat sort of in that position there. You can see where the roots were, and it's clearly just fell straight down. That's going to happen to all these trees now within the next few years, which is pretty insane to think. I think it's time for me to head off now. I'm getting absolutely soaked and I'm starting to get cold. Haven't really been able to sit down because it's soaking wet, and I decided it would be a smart idea to wear jeans. If you enjoyed the video, leave us a like, it really helps us out. Comment down below what's the best thing you've ever found whilst fossil hunting. You know, that tooth is by far the best thing I've ever found. It's incredible. I love all the history behind that sort of stuff. Subscribe to Naturescope to not miss any more future videos. Got plenty more coming up, and we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're around about 25 away now, so it would really help us out if you could subscribe. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.